Then I go back to the door, and then I'm like, oh, the door is on fire. That's not going to work.
The front door.
The front door is on fire. The windows that we had have bars on it. So then I called the sergeant of the academy, and I was like, I'm going to be a little late. My apartment's kind of on fire. My day one, phase one was a shooting. I was like, of course it would be. What else would it have been? We were jumping out the car, gun in hand. We had to jump a fence. I was like, oh, there's a 6-foot wall we had to practice in the academy. Great.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. This is Juan Cephas from Fit PD, and this is Lineup with Fit PD. Today's guest, Crystal Jordan. She's joining us. She's a peace officer. She's also an amateur boxer, and she's just had a very interesting life that has led her to law enforcement, that shows that she's a constant fighter and has the mindset to overcome any obstacle that life throws at her. I'm very excited that Crystal has joined us today. And Crystal, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, Crystal. Where do we start? At some point in your life, you must have decided that you wanted to become a peace officer.
Yes.
Do you remember when that was?
At 3.
At 3.
3 years old. So I grew up with my grandmother who watched Cops, followed by America's Most Wanted. So at 3 years old, I thought that was just the coolest thing, trying to solve crime, high-speed chases, fun stuff like that. So at 3 years old, I was like, I want to do that when I get older. Anytime we had guests over, I'm trying to arrest them and put them in my imaginary handcuffs that I didn't have. Trying to Mirandize them, not knowing what the heck I'm saying at the time. But yeah, since 3 years old, I knew eventually at some point I was going to be a peace officer.
All right, 3 years old. And I remember those Saturday nights with those shows.
Oh, yeah.
They can make an impact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then fast forward, you're no longer 3 years old. But at some point, you are, in working somewhere, and you decide that what you want to do is plan for the future, become a peace officer. So, but where are you working at? Are you going to college? What's going on?
So before I became a peace officer, I did theater for 10 years, and I worked at Starbucks and Coffee Bean. So I did all that at the same time. I lived in L.A., so it's closer to Hollywood. So it was easier to find plays, find little theater groups, write our own plays. So I had an agent. I got into this little theater group. We'll sit here together, write our own stuff, and then find a space kind of like this and put on plays. For the most part, they paid well, so that was always an added bonus. But at the same time, I also worked at Starbucks, which was right in the middle of Hollywood, so all kinds of different people. You had your regular guests, you get your little celebrity guests, so you get starstruck, like, oh my God, there's so-and-so. Trying to hint to them, hey, I got to play this weekend if you're not busy. So, I did theater 10 years, coffee of some sort, Coffee Bean first, 5 years, Starbucks, 5 years, and a mixture of 100 other jobs in between. But those were my main jobs.
So now, working in theater, you are different characters almost every week.
Very much so. So I decided I wanted to do theater first because at 21, I still looked like I was 14, 15. So I got to play younger roles, which was easier in that kind of field because you don't have to pay kids.
Okay.
So I get to come be the teenager instead of actually getting the teenager, pulling them out of school and all this stuff. So it worked out for me. So played the younger roles, played teenager roles, some adult roles. But yeah, like you said, get to put on different hats, different characters. One week I could be the charming favorite child. The next week I am the kid at school that's picking on somebody's kid. So every week got to do something different. So it was fun.
How did that experience help you in law enforcement, being able to put on different hats?
Dealing with people, you don't know who you're gonna get. For the most part, we show up on somebody's bad day or their worst day, so they're already upset, they're already angry. If you come in with one hat on and you're like, we're gonna do it this way, this is my show, you're gonna tell me your name, you're gonna do this, 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 and this, they're gonna be like, no, I'm not doing that, no. So if you come in, you're like, hey, change your hat a little bit, like, okay, well, hey, I'm Officer Jordan. I understand this is not a good day. I understand X, Y, and Z. I want to help you as much as I can. Just try to empathize with them. Don't come in and telling them what's going to happen. That way you kind of get more. So I could come in one way and realize, okay, this clearly isn't working. Let's take this hat off and put on this hat and try to switch it up. And for the most part, it works. I mean, sometimes you'll get that person who, no matter you put on 20 hats, so just you're not going to get anything out of them. But usually, if you switch it up and you're not just one track, they'll talk to you. So,
Well, communication is a
communication.
huge part of this job, right? So if you're able to communicate with people in a variety of different people,
Yeah.
you should be successful.
Because like you go from one call to the next, that's two completely different people. So you can't wear the same hat dealing with John, and you go over to Brian and think, okay, well, what happened there or what worked there is going to work with this guy. No, it's a different person. You got to be able to adjust and to adjust to that person.
So we got to be flexible.
Yeah. We have to know how to talk to people. We have to know how to change our approach, change our tone, just change how we do things. Yeah, granted, they committed the crime. Yes, they're ultimately getting arrested for it. Sure, whatever. But we don't have to treat them like you was wrong and now you're going to do it my way. Like, no, they know they're wrong. But now we don't have to come in as like this big bully to them. We can still empathize. We can still be nice. They're still human. We're human. We just treat them like humans. Like, we don't have to be mean to them.
Empathy goes a long way. So now, I mean, that's a great benefit of, I guess, being in theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because you get to practice every single week, and you did it for 10 years, so that's great. Now, as you moved from theater into something else, when do you take the step to apply to a police department?
So after doing 10 years, I was like, okay, I'm not getting any younger here, so let's finally put those applications in and let's get started. And at that point, I'm still in LA, not even in San Diego. Honestly, never been to San Diego. But yeah, I was like, okay, let me start working on my fitness. Like, I played basketball. I did bodybuilding, so I worked out, but going to the gym and lifting heavy weights and compared to like the academy workouts where you got to do more explosive type quick workouts was different. So like I was in shape, but not like I didn't run per se. So running was not my thing. But you give me some heavy weights, we could do this for hours. This is easy. So trying to make that adjustment to prepping for an academy, at that point I just put in all kind of applications in the LA area and using Instagram trying to find out what kind of workouts do they even do in the academy, because like I didn't have military experience, so I knew an academy was kind of like a military, but not full military. But at the same time, I didn't know what the heck it was, what I was getting into. I just knew I had to be in shape. So on Instagram, I think I literally just typed in police academy workouts and some random stuff popped up. And then this wonderful Fit PD page showed up and didn't know anything about it and didn't know you. I was just like, oh, that looks like an academy. That guy yelling at that kid looks like a police officer. I'm going to follow this page and just start copying the stuff that he posts. And so that's what I did. And started copying all the workouts that they were doing. And then I remember one workout you posted, you left out, I don't remember if it was like the reps or the time, or you left out something on it. And I was like, okay, let me send him a message and see if he even checks his messages and if he even respond to me. So I sent a message like, hey, I'm preparing for A Academy. I'm following your page. On this particular workout here, you left out whatever the detail was, I forgot. And you responded back, and you gave me the information. And I was like, cool, thanks. Again, not knowing anything about the academy or the yes sir, no sir, or anything like that. I was just like, cool, thanks. And then he was like, are you preparing for an academy? I was like, yeah. And then he was like, do you want to come see the academy? You can meet me at this address at 0600 hours. And I'm like, what on earth is 0600 hours? So I'm on Google like, does he mean 6 a.m.? Why didn't he just say that? So then you gave me the address, and I put it in my GPS, and it was like San Diego. Where on earth is San Diego? But I'm like, I ain't got nothing else to do. So I drove 2 hours down to San Diego, met you, saw the academy, and I was like, is this really what I want to do? Because I think it was day one of one day academy, and all I heard was yelling and screaming, and some kid getting told to run, some kid doing push-ups, getting yelled at, and you walked to me, Mr. Muscles in uniform. I was like, oh, man, this ain't like theater at all. So, good experience, though. Then I think you asked me, did I do the written test? And I was like, no. And you was like, okay, well, here's the date. And looking at you, looking at them, I was like, I'm not going to argue with this guy. I'm just going to do it. So I did it, passed that. You was like, did you sign up for the PAT, which is the physical test? And I'm trying to give you every excuse on why I did not sign up for it, and I'm not ready, and blah, blah, blah. And all you heard was no. So you gave me the date for that. And again, looking at you, I'm like, I'm not arguing with this man, so I'm just going to show up. And, of course, I did not pass the first, but the part that I did not pass was not the part I didn't think I was going to pass. I thought the 6-foot wall was going to be the hard part. That was easy. It was the dummy drag that the legs did not cooperate, so I fell. But anyway, so I failed that, and then now in my head, I was like, I told this guy I wasn't ready, blah, blah, blah. He didn't listen to me. And he's like, all right, well, here's the next date. Sign up. So I did, passed it the second time, and entered the background process.
So as you enter the background process, and now it's becoming a realization for you.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about it?
Nervous. So they give you this packet that asks you like 300 random questions, and I'm over like, I don't know the answer to half of these questions. And then there's some questions I'm like, do you really want me to answer that question? So going through that, you got a background investigator who's also in uniform. And again, me, no military experience, nothing of that sort. Just me, coffee, and give me a script and put me on stage. So I'm low-key intimidated, like, oh, God, this official person is in front of me, and oh, my God, I'm going to mess this up. Or like, so for me, personally, it was a little intimidating, but also like, this is what I want to do, so I got to suck it up and get through this somehow. So it was different, but I got through it.
You got through it?
I got through it.
All right. So you get through it, and now you get an academy date.
Get the academy date, then I'm like, okay, I guess I might need to move to San Diego now.
Okay, so you end up relocating.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know anybody in San Diego?
Nobody. So I relocated to San Diego. Oddly enough, I moved right next or pretty close to the shooting range of the police department, which I did not know. So as I'm unloading my U-Haul, I heard a lot of gunshots and instantly was like, this is going to be something. Don't know what I moved into the middle of, but here we are. But no, didn't know anybody besides you, who at this time I was like, he's nice, intimidating, but nice. But besides that, no family, no friends, nobody in San Diego.
All right. So then now you start the academy.
Mm-hmm.
How's the academy for you, your experience?
Before the academy, there was like camp workouts. So I did attend a lot of the camp workouts. So kind of learning the codes and getting the uniforms ready and all that stuff. I was kind of like, okay, prepared there because like on day one, it's inspections this, workout this, running. That for me, like I said, I don't run. I don't like it. Whoever created it sucks. But a lot of running. That was probably the toughest part for me. The push-ups, the burpees, all that stuff, I was like, okay, I could do this. My uniform, luckily, was good. So they did the whole walk around you and trying to find something on your uniform that's not right. Luckily, my uniform was fine. But in the academy, it's not if you're fine, it's if your group is fine. So while I'm up here like, oh yeah, my uniform's spot on. He didn't find anything wrong with me. The person next to me had things wrong with them that we all paid for. And in my head, I was like, why am I paying for what he did wrong? I did my job. So that was another thing that I had to learn real quickly. It's not about you. It's about your team.
So now you mentioned camp. And for people that may not know what camp is, what's camp?
So camp is workouts that help you get ready for the police academy. So it's people in the police department who put on these workouts that you, as not a recruit, the person is getting ready to go to the academy. I can't think of the word.
The recruiters.
Yeah, so you can go attend these, and they help you get ready for the academy. So they give you like simulation workouts, and they'll give you these police codes, and every here and there they'll like test you, like, okay, what is one that everybody should know? What does 10-4 mean? And just randomly, you got like, oh, and then you got to blurt it out. They'll help you with your uniform as you get closer to the academy, tell you what to expect, what not to expect. Like, my major thing is I like to make eye contact with people. Apparently, that's not what you do. So for the first couple of weeks, I'm sitting here looking at the guy in the eye. He's yelling at me, don't look at me. And I was like, well, what do I look at? Who do I look at? He's like, look past me. And I didn't know what that meant. I was like, look past you. Okay, you're standing in front of me. Where am I looking? So that was my struggle. I was like, okay, don't look at him, but don't like look down either. So, but yeah, it just helps you get ready for the lifestyle of the academy.
It's a pre-academy preparation course.
Yeah, exactly.
And you found it helpful.
I did. Yeah. So like I said, different kind of workouts compared to just going into your 24-hour fitness and doing back and shoulder day, which we all can do. But can you do 20 push-ups, 20 burpees, squats, and then go run 2 times around the field and then keep going for like 20 minutes? So getting those kind of workouts in was definitely helpful. Like I said, I was in shape. I played basketball. I worked out. So it's not like I had to get in shape. It's just training your body to those kind of workouts.
So specific to the academy, and the first responder lifestyle, which is very important.
Yeah. Especially those explosive workouts, because you could be sitting in your car 1 minute and nothing's happening, and out of nowhere you're in a foot pursuit, and you're like, what just happened? But you got to be able to just go. So
you got to be ready for it.
Got to be ready for it. You never know what's going to happen. They always say no 2 days are the same, and that's very true.
So now you're in the academy, and as a new person, like you mentioned, to this paramilitary lifestyle, what other advice would you give somebody that's thinking about going into the police academy that is also in a similar situation as you were?
On top of working out, just try to be strong, because you're going to have people yelling at you, and half the time you don't even know why you're being yelled at. So that was my thing. Like, you yell at me, I want to look at you and be like, why are you yelling at me? Well, what are you talking about? Or so just being able to like take it, but don't react to it. Know you're going to get yelled at for something. Know you're going to mess up on something, because, again, especially if you don't have the military experience, you don't have any of that lifestyle to come into, you're going to mess up. I messed up day one. They knew my name day one. I was like, what did I do? Like, so, but yeah, know that, and just work out, just push-ups. I would say push-ups, do a lot of push-ups, because I was able to do push-ups. I was not able to do 300, 400, 500 push-ups in one day. I can knock out 20 real quick and be like, cool, but 20 is just one set.
Now, as you're talking about this high-stress environment, we're kind of talking about stress inoculation training. Does that training transfer over when you are working in the street?
Oh, yeah, because like I said, you'll have somebody who's yelling at you, and usually, so where I work at, people yelling at me, and I'm like, I don't even know why you're yelling at me. What's going on here? But you'll go to a call. Most people don't like the police, don't want to talk to the police, so they'll automatically just come off firing at you. You'll be like, okay, let's calm down a little bit, sir. I'm Officer Jordan. I'm here to help. I'm here for X, Y, and Z. We got this radio call. So even though they're on level 10 of anger, you don't come in on level 10 of anger. You still got to know how to, okay, he's upset. That's fine. Any normal person come in at level 10 and be like, yo, man, why you yelling at me? Like, so we can't come in at that level. We got to be able to take it and calm it down. So I would definitely say the academy has helped with that, because I will admit, before the academy, if you start yelling at me, I'm yelling back, like, why are we yelling? So yes, definitely, academy does help for like controlling the scene, I could say.
Controlling stress management, and hence that will also help control everybody around you.
Exactly.
All right. So now you're in the academy, and not only are you doing physical fitness, but you're also in the defensive tactics program at some point. All right. So now you're in defensive tactics. What kind of background do you have in defensive tactics?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Like I said, I played basketball. Like, we get the occasional elbow here and there, but no fighting, no jujitsu, no nothing.
Nothing. Okay. So now I remember you're in my class.
I
Right?
remember too.
So you're in my class, and I see all kinds of different recruits, all shapes and sizes, genders, races coming through, and there are people that have a little bit of background in defensive tactics. There are people that have none. You didn't stand out as someone that didn't know what they were doing, but what was your experience in defensive tactics? How did you feel about it?
So for me, like, I've done like cardio type boxing classes, I guess you could say, not like actual training, like boxing, but like the class where you put on music and they teach you how to throw a 1-2 punch. So that kind of stuff. So I knew how to do that, I guess you can say. But as far as like fights or whatever, like, I never got in a fight outside of basketball. Like a basketball fight, sure, but like a street fight, never been in a street fight. Had no reason to be in a street fight. So I get to this DTAC thing, and you give me this stick, and you're like, you need to go hit this person. And I'm over like, okay, sure. Or like jujitsu type movements, like you trying to get out of something, and I'm over here like, I have no idea what on earth I am doing right now. So trying to learn that, completely different, totally different.
So how do you deal with it? How do you overcome that obstacle?
Call you and ask if I can come in at 5 o'clock in the morning before the academy starts at 6. Essentially, that's what I did a lot. Just either that or try to get like 2 or 3 people in the academy who also had no experience at that, and try to find a match somewhere and see if we can roll somewhere. Or if that didn't work, I think I did find a gym. It's closer to Sports Arena that had jiu-jitsu. So I was like, okay, well, let me try to figure this out, because in the academy we have DTAC, but I think it was like once a week.
Right.
So it wasn't like you're getting a lot of training. It was like once a week for a couple hours, and then that was it for the whole week. So I was like, okay, well, I need to do more. That's not gonna help. So I did join another gym where I started training boxing and jiu-jitsu, because I was like, I got to figure that. And I'm a girl. I'm like, I don't want to be the girl who can't fight. Like, let's be honest. There's a lot of girls who will just stand there, and I've seen it. And I was like, I don't want to be that girl. So extra training.
Extra training. That's the recipe for success.
It had to be at that time, yeah.
And
until today.
Not everybody gets the opportunity to get extra training. They try the best they can at the academy to train people outside of the normal hours. But what you're saying is you took it upon yourself to just find the training so that you can feel confident and be more successful.
And like I said, I asked you, so we did like some mornings here and there at 5 a.m., but you're not really getting the whole hour because you still got to go back, shower, get ready, get in uniform, and be out on the field at 6. So you might get like 30 minutes, let's say. So as good as that was, I felt like I still need more because, like I said, I had no experience. Like some guys or some girls come in with a little bit so they could kind of like wing it enough to pass the test that they give you, and I'm like, okay, cool, you pass. Sure, I did enough to where I could pass the test, but I also knew if I got in the fight at that moment, I was like, this ain't gonna work. No. So yeah, I had to go get extra training.
And, I think that in people that fall in the category of not having any background with defensive tactics, they really do need to find extra training, find extra repetitions somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah.
Somewhere. It doesn't matter where. You have to get that training. Now, we have scenarios. And how did you feel going into scenarios? So kind of like a simulated maybe critical incidents or something like that, felonious activity.
Yes, at the beginning of the academy, the scenarios, I sucked at them all. Very stressful. I had no idea what I was doing. Like I said, some people in the academy, they went in, they nailed it, they walked out. I was like, why? How? I go in, I'm like, I don't know. I know you shouldn't be doing that, but I'm not sure how to stop you from doing that. So, and especially with the DTAC part, the instructors are usually the suspects, and they have no problem hitting you or tackling you. Or one of the instructors I remember for Fight for Your Life kicked me in the face, and this is a over 6 foot tall guy, and little me getting kicked in the face to the point that I am off the ground flying backwards. I remember that clearly. But yeah, being able to control it and wrestle with these instructors who are trained at this, I sucked. I absolutely sucked. I got thrown around like a little rag doll at the beginning. Towards the end, I got better. I'm not going to say I was the best, but it was to the point that if I had to fight until I had like our backup in the scenario, I guess you could say, I was able to hold my own. Like I wasn't getting thrown around the room like I was in week 1. So, yeah.
So practice and
Lots of
consistency.
Mm-hmm.
So now you graduate. Or let's back up a second. You're about to graduate.
About to graduate.
About to graduate. And there was an incident that occurred.
Yeah, so the week before graduation, things like 1 o'clock in the morning, I heard just a lot of yelling. And I'm thinking somebody's throwing a party.
This is at home?
At home.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 in the morning. So I open my door, and I'm yelling at everybody to shut up. I'm like, I got academy the next day. You guys are loud. I'm not putting 2 and 2 together on why they're yelling. So I close the door, and I'm like, that was awfully bright. What was that? So I open the door again. I look up, and my whole apartment is on fire. The big ring of fire. And I'm on the bottom floor, so the whole top floor is gone. And I just see the ring, and I was like, oh. And then I hear everybody yelling, get out your apartment, get out your apartment. And I'm half asleep like, are we on fire? Like, what was happening here? So, of course, me being me, I got to get my cell phone. So then I close the door, run back in, get my phone, wake up my boyfriend at the time. Then I go back to the door, and then I'm like, oh, the door is on fire. That's not going to work.
The front door?
The front door is on fire. So then I'm like, okay. So then I go back in the room, and the windows that we had have bars on them. So you have to like crank this thing to open the bar, which I never opened the bar, and I don't think anybody's opened the bars. So cranking that thing was not just, that required, like, it was to the point I was hanging on it, feet off the ground, that thing was not moving. So now I'm just like, uh-oh, this ain't good, as the fire is just growing. So now me and my boyfriend was like cranking this thing, trying to get it to open. Finally, it did open, so we just jumped out the window and went around. But then when I got to the front, I looked, I was like, what? And this is 1 o'clock in the morning. I was like, who starts the fire at 1 o'clock in the morning? So then I called the sergeant of the academy, and I was like, I'm going to be a little late. My apartment's kind of on fire. And I think I called you, too. I was like, everything's inside, and I don't have anything to wear. So that was definitely a highlight a week before graduation.
So your uniforms are damaged.
Oh, everything's damaged.
Everything.
Yeah, so everything burnt down in that fire. And if it didn't burn, it got soaked or it got damaged at some point or somehow. But everything in that apartment was gone. Yeah.
So it's a week away from graduation. How do you prepare for graduation with this going on?
Luckily, at this point, I made some friends in the academy who I was like, hey, can I borrow a pair of pants and a shirt, and I'll go buy some socks real quick. And luckily, at this point, I think we was done with the physical part of it, so I didn't need those shirts with our last name on it anymore. So thankfully for that. But yeah, it's like trying to figure it out quickly, like who's close to my size, kind of my size. Can I borrow this? I did have my shoes. I did leave those in the car, luckily. So I had shoes because I was like, I don't want to put on anybody else's shoes. But the uniform, yeah, I'm just calling up like, hey, can I borrow a shirt? Can I borrow this? Because even though, yeah, my apartment burned down, I could have went to the academy like, hey, everything burned down. I'm sorry. But I'm like, no, figure it out. Who can you call? How can we at least get through the next day until we can go buy more stuff or figure it out at that point? And then, of course, graduation's in a week, so now I need the actual police uniform. So now we're back at A's, and they're looking at me like, wasn't you just here? I was like, yeah, you see what happened was. So now we got to do all that again. And it was an adventure. Luckily, the department helped me a little bit, but it was not what you want when you're trying to graduate and when you're already stressed out and you still got a few tests you got to do. You still got to pass that, and now you don't got an apartment. So that was fun.
You were able to focus.
Yeah.
And get through it.
Still got through it. Still was able to focus. Luckily, I just found another place quickly, but things happen. You just got to adapt and keep going. So.
Resilience. Yes. Now, once you graduate and you hit the streets, per se, with a training officer, how's that experience for you?
Well, for me, it was different because I did not hit the streets right away. Because also in the academy, I want to say that same week, or maybe, yeah, that same week, we had to do the 1.5 mile run and make it in time to finish, to pass everything. And I passed, but I got a hernia. So I had to have surgery first before I can hit the streets. So there wasn't one thing, it was another. So that first year of being the police officer was not smooth. Let's just say that. But once we had the surgery and once we healed and all that stuff, and then I went to the field, it was a completely different kind of stress. Because now you're in uniform, now you're out there. The public don't know it's your first day. They don't really care it's your first day. They expect you to solve their problems as if it was like your 5th year. So you show up. I think in my first call, they always joke in the academy, your day one, phase one can be smooth, or it can be a shooting, or they give you like this nightmare scenario.
Right.
My day one, phase one was a shooting. I was like, of course it would be. What else would it have been today? So we're jumping out the car, gun in hand, put the gun, we had to jump a fence. I was like, oh, there's that 6-foot wall we had to practice in the academy. Great. So jump this fence to get over to the scene. And I was like, all right, this is what I signed up for. Now your training officer's like, go do this. I'm like, huh? Okay, go do what? So they'll tell you to go do something and they expect you to know it. Like they know you don't know it, but they expect you to figure it out. So now I gotta go find someone. Hey, he wants me to go take a witness statement. Who's the witness? What are we doing here? There's a shooting. I know that much. I don't know what to do next. He's like, go mark the casings. What? What do you mean mark the casings? Like I don't know what that means. Help. Like.
So there's a learning curve.
A huge learning curve. I was like, this isn't Starbucks.
So the academy prepares you, but until you actually do it, it just feels and looks different.
It's completely different. Like the academy, yeah, it teaches you the basics. It does not teach you, okay, there's a shooting, go mark casings. Like I missed that class. But once you get going, like you get 4 phases. So once you start going through it, it starts to get a little easier. But again, for me, like I said, no experience in this at all, no military, nothing. I just some little girl who did theater and made coffee. So now trying to figure out this part of life, I was like, okay, this is different, learning curve. But you figure it out. I ask a lot of questions. Every officer on my squad, I'm asking them something. Some officers are really great and really helpful, and other officers are like, why are you talking to me? But I did not care because I'm like, I'm going to pass this one way or the other, so you're going to answer my question. So you just got to you got to be persistent. You just got to get out there regardless of what mood they're in or anything, because they have their job. They pass phase. They're good. You have to pass phase, so you have to figure it out. So, yeah.
Kind of put your ego aside.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on what you need to do
What you
to
need to do.
accomplish your goal
Mm-hmm.
and make it happen.
Make it happen. Yeah.
Now, at some point, Crystal, how do you decide? Okay, I'm a peace officer. I now have a handle on how to work in the streets, and I'm gonna start boxing people.
So one, I watch a lot of YouTube.
All right.
And there's a lot of scenes I see where, like, the male cops are trying to control the scene. They're in fights or whatever. And the female cop is just kind of like, I don't know what to do. So I didn't want to be that. And then plus for me, I think one of my first calls, I work in like a huge transient area. So
Okay.
it's really busy. One of my first calls, I am fighting with this transient, like full-blown rolling on the streets, fighting. And my cover officer was also a female and did not help. Like, she tried to grab a foot, but of course he kicked, and she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, can you do something? And she's like, So I was like, I don't want to be you. So I'm like, I need to learn how to do something. And so first I was like, I'm going to go learn Muay Thai. Because I'm like, I want to kick people. That seems like a good thing to do. Until I realized, no, I don't like that. So then I started boxing. I was like, most fights start standing up. So what I've learned, most people like to swing at me for some reason. So I was like, at least boxing, I could defend myself. So I found a gym, started learning boxing. Most gyms offer law enforcement discounts, so that was pretty cool. And then still did jujitsu here and there, but boxing was more fun for me. So, yeah, I started doing that because I didn't want to be that officer who could not help their squad mate. And then also, which I've seen, where it's say like you're going to a call and they need somebody to roger up, and it'd be that female cop, and now you got the other cop like, oh no, Then they send like a text message like, hey, buddy, are you nearby? Can you like come in the area just in case? I didn't want to be that cop that they're like, oh, Crystal's coming. Okay, no, let me get somebody else. Because at the same time, now that people know I box and they know I can fight, I'll get the calls and they're like, oh, you're here, guy. This is going to be great. Let's go. So I'm like, yeah. So, yeah, just want to be able to defend myself, be able to help with my squad mates if they get into something and not just be that, oh, I don't know what to do person. And that's never a good look, especially with everybody on their camera phones. You don't want to be that person.
So now, you didn't just try boxing.
Oh, no. So I first started doing it, like I said, for my job. Like, I didn't want to be the person that got beat up because I can't defend myself. So then I started just training, like, on the mitts and just learning how to throw basic combinations. And then I was like, oh, okay, let's see if I could spar somebody and see what happens. So I started sparring and got beat up every single time. But getting beat up, I was like, okay, that sucked. Can we go tomorrow? Can we go again? So I started going, doing that. And then I found Battle of the Badges, which is all law enforcement, military, firefighters, anybody with a badge, essentially. And I was like, okay, that's different. And I was like, nobody from San Diego, at least from my police department, was doing it. So I was like, oh, I'll try it. Let's see what happens. So I trained for 4 months. don't recommend this looking back at it, but trained for 4 months and decided I'm going to go get a fight. And I did. And I lost. But it was fun. The adrenaline kicked in. I was like, this is amazing. Let's do it again. So went from that fight. Now I think I'm 8 fights in now. So, yeah, and I got a couple more coming up. So I was like.
When's your next fight?
Next fight is going to be October 18th in Pomona. And then I have another fight November 15th here in San Diego.
Where's that one at?
It's going to be at the arena on, Sports Arena Avenue or Sports Arena Boulevard or something like that. But the gym is called the Arena. So.
Well, let's make sure that we get people out there to support you.
Yes. Last fight of the year, you guys. Let's go.
Last fight of the year.
So I say.
But not the last fight.
Not the last fight, just the last fight of 2025. We already got 2026 lined up, January 15th, but we'll talk about that later.
Well, you still got the holidays, so you want to enjoy the holidays. You don't want to be training as hard, but start the new year out right.
Exactly.
Right. That sounds
Still
like a good plan.
Still be in the gym, but no
Of
fights.
course. I didn't think that was up for debate.
Oh, no, we'll still be in the gym.
Got to be in the gym. Mm-hmm. So, Crystal, tell us, what's next for you?
Right now, I started a new position, a community relations officer. So learning what that is, I've been doing that for like 2 weeks now.
Okay.
It's a little different than patrol. Patrol, you're in your car, you're going to calls. This seems to be a little, it's more on the back end. So you get to help the community more on a one-on-one. As for patrols, like you patrol. So I'm going to try this out, but ultimately, I want to make detective. I would love to do domestic violence or something with kids. So like juvenile service or something along those lines would be great. But, yeah, ultimately detective if I can get it. I know testing's coming up, so I need to start studying.
Well, I'm sure you can tackle that. If you can get in the ring, you can tackle a test.
Yeah, that's a different fight, but yeah.
Yeah, but you're a fighter.
Yeah, we can do it.
You're a fighter. And your opportunity to work with the community, it's a great opportunity because you have the right attitude.
Yeah.
Somebody that can have empathy and communicate with just about anybody. Bring in all your acting experience, all your different hats. You should be able to excel in working with the community.
I hope so. That's the plan. So, and my LT thought I was great at it, so don't want to let him down either.
Well, I have confidence in you. I have confidence in you.
Thank you.
Before we're done, anything else that you would like to mention to our viewers?
I would say if this is something that you want to do, don't let it intimidate you, I guess you could say. If you want to do it, it's going to look challenging. It's going to be challenging, but you just have to be strong. You have to put one foot forward and just tackle it. You're going to hit obstacles. There's going to be days you're going to be like, this sucks. I suck at this. Why did I do this? I can just go back to my old job and whatever goes through your mind. You just kind of got to like fight through that because there's definitely days, especially in the academy, I was like, why am I here? Phase training. Why am I here? Because I did not get an easy phase training at all. I got the biggest, busiest commands. I didn't get any easy breaks. And I was like, I suck at this. There's been a couple days I went home, like, let me see if Starbucks is still hiring. Get my job back. But you just got to push through it. If that's what you want, push through it, do it. And next thing you know, I've been doing this 5 years. And I'm like, didn't I just start this like last month? So time definitely flies.
What about all the rewarding days? What do those days look like?
So, like I said, every day is going to be different. Some days are going to suck, but there's a lot of good days. A lot of days that people compliment you. A lot of days that are like, oh, thank you for your service. I appreciate you being here. A lot of days, even when suspects, they did something wrong, they will still thank you. Like I've had people on my way to jail with them in my back seat. It's like, hey, I just want to say thank you for being kind to me. thank you for not treating me like X, Y, and Z, or just thank you. And you're like, okay, Dad. It makes you feel good. Like, yeah, they know they messed up, but at the same time, they appreciate you for treating them like a human. Um, then it's like the other aspect of like doing like activities like shop with a cop or like things with the younger community. Like I just did this event called Million Punches to the Heart or From the Heart with a bunch of younger kids from this boxing gym. And they were so excited to see a lot of police, and fire department was there too. But they were so excited to see us and talk to us, and just to hear the little kids like, I want to be a police officer when I grow up. It's like, okay, they look at you and they want to do what you do. So that's, to me anyway, that's very rewarding, because that was me as a little kid. Be at 7-Eleven with my grandma and I see a cop come in, I'm like starstruck, like, there's a police officer right there. You would think it was some celebrity, and I'm just like, can I go say hi? Can I go say hi? So to have that done to me as I did to them, it's like, this is cool.
Well, I think it's cool that this conversation just went full circle.
Right?
Right? Yeah. And Crystal, I want to thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
I want to thank all the everybody for tuning in. And I also want to encourage you to continue to do what you're doing. There's more to come. Please subscribe and let us know what other things you want to see, what other stories you want to see. We have our next guest is going to be someone that also has gone full circle with some experience growing up with abusive relationships, and now working with victims of domestic violence and helping those victims. So please tune in, and thank you for watching.
We come before you with gratitude for the brave men and women who have answered the sacred call to protect and serve. You said in Romans 13, verse 4, that the one in authority is God's servant for your good. Lord, we thank you for every officer who stands the line. We thank you for every officer who runs toward the sound of danger when others run away. We thank you, God, for every officer who brings order out of chaos and who seeks justice with compassion. Father, as warriors in a fallen world, we draw our strength from you. Your word declares in Psalm 144, verse 1, "Blessed be the Lord, my rock, who trains my hands for war, my fingers for every battle." Train our hands, Lord, not only for the battles of the street, but for the battles within. Give us courage when fear whispers. Give us patience when tempers rise. Grant us wisdom when decisions must be made in an instant. Lord, we ask for your divine protection over every officer in the field. Surround them with your angels as a shield, as you promised in Psalm 91. And let your peace guard their heart and mind in Christ Jesus. When they grow weary, remind them that those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. Almighty God, you are our strength. You are our shield. You are our ever-present help in times of trouble. Father, when the day's work is done, bring them home safely. Restore their spirit, renew their joy, and remind them that they do not fight this battle alone. For you go before them, you go beside them, you are with them. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, our Commander and King, amen.